The Nigerian Senate has resolved to provide legislative support for the policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to redesign the naira note. The upper chamber made the resolution after a heated debate on a motion moved by Senator Oluwasefunmi on CBN's policy to redesign the 3 naira notes.
Available statistics shows that cash outside the banks consists of over 80% of currency in circulation (CIC) as at the end of June 2022. Available data indicated that 2.72 trillion out of the 3.26 trillion currency in circulation was outside the vaults of commercial banks across the country. Further aware that recent developments in photographic and computer technology, as well as printing devices have made the production of counterfeit money relatively easy, thereby increasing the potential threat. In recent years, the bank has recorded a consistent rise in incidences of counterfeiting of the naira, with 500 and 1,000 denomination banknotes most attacked. The threat to counterfeiting of the 2 denominations is a function of a large margin between cost of counterfeiting and gains derivable from the criminal act.
Majority of senators across party lines supported the redesign of the naira but suggested the extension of the deadline for compliance and wanted the Senate to also invite the governor of CBN, Godwin Emefiele, to throw more light on the policy.
On the window open to everybody to exchange their money for the new one. 1 month and a half is extremely short for what we're about to do. Because if you withdraw 1 trillion from this economy at once in a month, the ripple effect will affect everybody. It will affect our buying power, it will affect markets, it will affect traders, it will affect everybody. And if we're not careful, we will shut down the economy. And that is very, very important consideration for CBN and all the banks involved. We have serious elections within this period. And everyone knows that with elections come logistics, come arrangements, and co. If everything is withdrawn from the system, we do not want a situation whereby there will be preference for certain people to get funds out of the bank.
The CBN to go into these things, so longer there is an approval from the president. And in matters like this, you don't need to flog it and over-publicize it. Those who have decided to do this between the Mr. President and the CBN government, they know why they are doing this thing. Let us leave them alone to do their own thing. But because of who we are, this is a very complicated society. There are so many of the rural people who have never gone to the banks once in their lives. So many. The money they have, they keep it. Every now and then they look at the money they have and they are grateful to God. It's not about leaving the money in the hands of another person. It's very suspicious to them.
As Senator Gabriel Suswan disagreed with other senators, claiming that the CBN governor has always shunned the Senate invitation.
The implication of the economy, both on the monetary and the fiscal policy of this government, what has happened, Mr. President, is that announcement alone, our inflation rate has moved from where we were said to about 51%. About 51%, Mr. President. And so when you are taking a position such as this, you must be mindful. If the CBN had wanted our support, we are major stakeholders in the economy of this country. One would have expected that there would have been proper consultation, even though it is our exclusive preserve to do what they are doing. But then there was no consultation. After the printing has commenced, the president has approved and said legislative support. It will be ridiculous for us to go ahead and do that. Let him go ahead and do what he's doing. Mr. President, yes, let him go ahead. Let him go.
Meanwhile, Senator Akpan Bassi stressed the need to support the CBN's governor, adding that there should be no discussion on the matter.
Mr. President, we must be properly guided. 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, it was trade by barter. Naira came. Then the card came. I can tell you all over the world, no economy is guided by cash. We must be in tune with current global realities. All over the world, we now have digital currencies. All over the world. Mr. President, the volume of the current naira outside the central bank control system can never augur well for our economy. It can never augur well for our economy. People are stashing away billions of naira cash, trillions of cash all over the world in this country. So we must support the Central Bank of Nigeria. I'm not sure you are certain here that we are guided by the extant laws. That law, made by the National Assembly, does not require Central Bank of Nigeria to seek the support of the National Assembly. It does not. The Central Bank of Nigeria is carrying out its regulatory function and duty. So I commend the chairman banking. So there should be no further discussions on this matter.
In his ruling, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Omoagege, who presided over the Wednesday plenary, said it was the prerogative of the CBN to redesign the naira and put a deadline for compliance.
Having said that, I'd like to make clear that we are guided here by extant law. And the provisions of that extant law, most especially Section 17, 18, and 19, most especially 19(1) A and B of the CBN Act, even though not specifically cited, but I think the content has been alluded to all through the debate. It is within the exclusive preserve of the CBN board on the based on the recommendation to Mr. President and the approval of Mr. President to carry out this redesigning, the form and the marks is within their exclusive preserve. And this also applies to timing. It also applies to timing. This is the law. We made the law. We made the law. Let's not lose sight of that. Now,
from the National Assembly, Olayinka Olatunji reporting for Newsbuster NGTV.